So Beatport acquires Loopmasters, who also owns LoopCloud and Plugin Boutique. What's going on, guys? My name is Matej. Today's another day for Music Biz Daily, and let's break down this event that just happened where Beatport is acquiring Loopmasters, which is a UK-based company that owns LoopCloud, which is a provider of sound packs, drum packs, different piano loops, trumpet loops, whatever, that are different keys, key progressions, things like that. And then Plugin Boutique, so all the VST plugins for compressing, delays, reverbs, EQs, effects, all of that. They provide that. It's an online platform. So what's going on in the industry with these different plugin makers, loop makers, and so forth? So if you're a producer, which that's kind of what I started doing as I got in the music industry, you will notice that beat packs are all over the place. Not only are dope producers that have their own brands creating their own loop packs, drum packs, and things like that, but of course the major corporations, labels, loop stars, and things like that take notice, and they deploy their own teams to do the same thing, as well as creating partnership with these different producers that provide their own original made loop packs. One example is Splice, which is a platform that I've actually used a lot, like 2 years ago when I was still doing some production work. They raised another round of $105 million in funding, and today they paid out over $35 million in royalties, because if you've ever been on the Splice platform, you can get a bunch of drum loops, a bunch of different other sound loops into your production. It also saves your sessions. Like if you're working in Pro Tools, it'll save your entire PTX file on the platform, so you sort of never lose the structure of your session, things like that. And another example is BeatStars, right? They're not necessarily a loop creating tool, but they provide the publishing services and a place for producers to put up their beats and all that. So it's becoming more and more popular. And not only are these type of softwares enabling producers to be quicker at production and to offer a variety of loops that otherwise would take hours and hours for producers to create originally, but they're also figuring out how to track the publishing and the ownership of these loops. Now, of course, it's a difficult task to, let's say, track a 4-bar arrangement of like some fast-paced hi-hats with some effect on it. It's like, how do you really know that producer X created it and not producer B or producer A? So that's going to be a task that these companies are going to be involved with for a long time to come, because trust me, loops get stolen, they get recycled. It's going to be very difficult to just track loops, especially if they're claimed to be royalty-free. But as technology advances, companies like Beatport that are acquiring these companies like Loopmasters and such, they're going to be able to figure it out. Trust me, I've seen the progression of technology in the music industry. Spotify, as I made the video like a couple of weeks back, is creating this tool which they're going to be able to analyze. Are you basically pirating another song, or is a particular loop in your song resembling some chord progression from another song? They're going to basically let you know ahead of time. Are you sampling without clearing your sample, things like that. It's going to be the same thing with these loops, right? So it's going to be beneficial to producers to definitely focus on producing their own original loops, even if they want to sell it in the marketplace as loop packs, than to try to bite off of other producers, reuse theirs or steal them and claim them as their own. Now, it's similar with copyrights in music. Until a tool like Spotify comes out, it's going to have this large database of all the songs ever recorded, or have the ability for artists to submit their songs even if they're not big, so it's in this database, so it's not going to be as easy to steal other people's stuff. It was the same issue in the copyright world in the past. Like a small Joe Schmo producer or a band could produce a track, copyright it, but a big band like Bruno Mars or a big artist could either come up with it on their own on accident, or just straight up hear it from the lower artist, take it, register it through copyrights themselves, whereas the lower artists did not actually register it through copyrights, and they sort of are screwed, because now the bigger artists with the bigger label crossed their T's and dotted their I's, and now they will potentially win in court because the smaller guy didn't know about the law, even though they were the true original creators of that particular song. But now technology is helping to both protect the smaller guy, but is also giving the tools to the labels to quickly be able to identify whether or not they are, plagiarizing music or taking somebody else's sample without clearing it. Same thing for loops. So I just wanted to highlight this story because, two things that are happening. These loop packs are going to be out there more and more. There's going to be companies out there providing plugins, loop packs on subscription basis more and more. That's where we're heading. But on top of that, these databases are growing larger and larger. So what that will do is it'll protect the piracy and theft of people that are stealing loops, claiming them as their own, and it will of course put more money in producers' pockets, going forward, because these platforms are going to hopefully, do a good job of registering the content properly and identify if it's been stolen, and then be able to pay out producers for using their sort of royalty-free loop packs, drum packs, piano packs, whatever the case is, just like Splice is able to do, or just like BeatStars is able to do. So again, always comes back to my point that technology is transforming this industry on a big level. It's happening fast. Every week there's some new innovation happening. Every week there's a new company that has new ideas, fresh ideas, some new technologies that are emerging. And of course we got the giants that are trying to acquire as many of these companies and become as big and fat as possible in terms of profits. So, we'll see how the battle kind of continues as we move forward. But I think this is good news for producers, honestly, because just like the music industry suffered from piracy, producers suffer from the same thing. And these technologies, I think, will only help us as producers to protect our loop packs, help you monetize them, help them sell and all that. But you still gotta focus on marketing. I don't care how talented you are, and I don't care what platform you put your loop packs on. If you don't market additionally to those platforms and bring light and attention to what you're doing, it may not even matter. So I'm gonna leave you with that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.